Welcome to A Real Talk. I'm your host, Kimo, Mann. We're back. So, episode 2. What is it going to be about? Yeah, I know you want to know. Right? Judgments. We're going to talk about judgments and assumptions. But before we get to that, I want to thank everyone for the support on the first video. I'm very new to this, so I'm just getting started. And yeah, it's really nice to feel your support. So I really appreciate it. I just want to thank you all. And let's get to it. So, as I was saying, episode 2, judgments and assumptions. So, I've noticed this a lot in society. A lot of people just judge a lot, just get all judgy. So that person's this and that, and whoa, you're just like, hey, take it easy. Do you know this person? Well, no, but I kind of get that. No, hey, that's an assumption. No, I get that vibe, and I'm like, hey, before you judge them, get to know them a bit, So, and I think that on a deeper level, there is. It just happens all the time, and it can be really damaging sometimes because particular individuals get judged and get labeled, and what really is necessary is people to try and understand that particular individual or have a conversation with them and get to know them. And I think that that's missing a lot in our society. It's just like automatically they're put in that box. You're like, whoa. And I see it. I've seen it so much over the last few years, say 10 years, when I really started noticing it. But maybe probably even before that. But I'm like, it feels like one of those things. Like, I've been using this term a lot. It feels primitive. And I feel like we can have we could choose a different path in how we want to treat each other. And so I feel like automatic judgments and labeling are just not effective ways to bring us closer to each other. And I do believe that energy that gets put out comes right back at you too. Maybe not that day and that month, but maybe a couple of years down the road, you get judged and you're like, ouch, that hurt. Why did I get put in that box? And you're just like, well, why? Let's not wait until we get to that point. Why don't we make the choice now to be less judgy and to stop making assumptions about certain individuals or certain events or whatever it is. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's have some conversations about it, and let those conversations be and come from a place where we're not trying to be righteous. No, we're trying to be right. Oh, I need to be right. And there's the ego gets flared up and just wants more of it. That ego just craves to just, I got to be right. It's just like, holy, let's back up. Let's meditate a bit. That's what I say. If you're getting all twisted up, back up and let's meditate, or let's do a little workout. Let's move that energy, right? So, it just, once again, it's not really going to help you or the society, the people around you, right? So, and that's one of the reasons why I make these videos, is so we can come together and be all joyful, right? Because that's what the whole point of this experience is, right? To be joyful, right? There's a lot of other things too, but we like being in joy. Let's be on that high vibe, right? So, anyways, on that note, I feel that it just, it can be really damaging to certain individuals that I feel have get locked out of the community, right? And they're labeled that, and they're like, that person's this, and then everyone jumps on that narrative. You're just like, holy, once again. And I've seen it happen so many times. It's so unfair. You're just like, wow, that person just totally got rolled over by one person who didn't have a very good experience with that particular individual, and then boom, they're labeled blah blah blah, whatever it is, right? So it's just let's try and stop that, in my opinion. I mean, you do whatever the fuck you guys want to, right? It's just human nature. But I mean, we want to bring each other closer. So, and we want to understand each other on a deeper level. And I find that quick judgments and assumptions about one another just doesn't lend to higher level of consciousness and relating. So, in my opinion, so that's just how I feel about that. So, yeah, and I know that confrontation is not something that people like to do in society. It's just not. People don't like to have uncomfortable conversations where, you know, your palms start to sweat and your pits are just like, woo, you know, and everything's just pumping, you know, you know what I'm talking about, right? But that's unfortunately what is needed. You know, we need to have conversations that might be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning and then lend to resolution or some type of insight that you didn't think you necessarily thought could happen, but you'd be surprised. So yeah, and that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, so if we can have these conversations in a non-violent manner, and what that means is that words can be violent in the way they're projected out, right? So words can make you feel like you're being attacked, basically. And what happens when someone gets attacked? They close right up and they put their defenses on. So we want to use type of language that isn't attacking language, which is more opening language, where we can open one another to have that type of dialogue. Because the dialogue is not going to happen if you're feeling defensive, because what you're going to put out is just a defense. Your words are going to be defenseful, and no one's getting the point across. So we need to have it in a non-violent way, in my opinion, anyways. That's just how I feel. But that's maybe another topic I could get into. But my message to everyone today is, let's try to be not so judgy, you know. Let's try and maybe get to know that individual or that certain event, and look at it in a bit of a open-minded way, you know, a little bit more open-minded, and maybe get some more facts and maybe try and relate with that certain individual or event. So if you like this video, hey, like it. And this is for my YouTube channel too, so please subscribe. I would love to have more followers, because this is the good stuff. I really love doing this. I've been waiting to do this for a long time, and yeah, it brings me a lot of joy. So hope everyone's having a great Friday. All the best to everyone, and lots of love. Ciao.